Where are we? We're right here. Well, what is up, y'all? Mrs. My 100 here with another Pokemon Go video. We're doing what a lot of you have asked for, which is to check out Liberty State Park here in Jersey City. Here in Jersey City? It's in Jersey City. I live in New York City. In fact, I live in the Bronx, so it's going to be a very far trip for me, actually. It is public transit available. Oh my god, can we? But we're going to take the public subway, the train, all the way down to where the ferry port is, take the ferry and show you Liberty State Park, because so many of you have asked. That is the location for GoFest 2025 here in the US, and the dates for that are June 6th through 8th. June 6th through 8th are the dates. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's also City Play that will be available on Thursday that you can purchase as an add-on, and they have clarified that City Play will include all 5 boroughs of New York City in addition to Jersey City. So that is a very good sign, because City Play without New York City is just not fun, especially when you're right there. So good job, Niantic. Well, I guess Scopely, Niantic? I don't know. Good job, game developers, for making that decision. Now we've got a long subway ride ahead, so I'm gonna listen to some music, and then once we get to the train station, I will reconvene with you to show you the ferry path. The ferry station that'll take you over to Jersey City from Lower Manhattan in New York City. I imagine that there'll be other additional ferry options available. I hope that the event coordinators have put that together. So we'll see for sure, but I can at least show you the available option that's available to the public on a regular basis. And again, I hope that the event coordinators are putting together more options for ferry services during the weekend of GoFest, but we shall see. All right, let's go.
One eternity later.
Here from that Park is Field Place / Battery City Ferry Terminal, which is the terminal you want to take to get to Liberty State Park. Let's go buy our ticket. That's Jersey City. The park is kind of over there. Let's go buy our ticket though. So I've just learned that this boat comes once every hour. 1:45, 12:45. The next one is at 2:45, which is 45 minutes from now. That was some timing mistake on my end. But again, I hope that whoever's organizing GoFest this year, Niantic, Scopely, I don't know, they get a private charter or something for more ferries, because this will get very packed very quickly. The other option is the PATH train, which I will take on the way back to show you that. So if you're interested in that, you're going to want to see to the end of the video. But we got 45 minutes to kill here, so let's take a look at Pogo, I guess. Going over there. Over there. So it seems like this ferry is privately owned, so it's not the same as the New York ferry system that is running more consistently. There's a whole bunch of them. This one's a private ferry, so this is owned by a company who is actually familiar. Last year and the year before, Hornblower is the company that ran the ferry to Randall's Island, and this same company owns the ferry that runs to Liberty State Park. So hopefully Niantic, Scopely, whomever, the event coordinators will work with the company to get more options specifically for GoFest. this year, and hopefully the price is not super overpriced. So for all of you that are going to stay in Lower Manhattan, this is a great option. So I would recommend staying in Lower Manhattan just because if you've never been to New York, this is a great option. You get to see all the sights and all the things. Yeah.
It's like a 5-minute walk.
Thank you. And here we are. Look, Canadian geese. The Canadian geese. What's up, Canadian geese? How's it going, eh? Okay, anyway, this is Liberty State Park. As you can see, there is not a lot of shade. This is something that I knew about. I've talked about this on my streams before, but I am actually pretty familiar with this park in particular because I actually had a friend who used to live on a boat at the marina that's literally like 5 feet from here, and I would visit pretty frequently back in the day. It's been over 10 years though, so things might be a little different, but from what I can see, it's not that different. It's a big open field, Lower Manhattan, which as you can see was like 10-15 minutes, that ferry ride, and it made one additional stop, which was the other side of like Jersey City. We'll kind of walk that way on our way out, but this is the giant field, and as you can see, not a lot of shade. And right now I'm here in the winter because it's March, but in the summer, in June, it is going to be very hot. So I will tell you all again, sunscreen, bring a water bottle, refillable water bottle. Make sure you have lots of water in the beginning of the day too, because who knows, again, how their water filling stations will be. I don't really know. Bring like an electric fan, bring a cooler for your phone if you can, bring an umbrella shade for yourself and your friends and your phone, really, so that things don't overheat, you know. But this is actually quite a good view. Like, they picked a pretty good park, except for the fact that there's not really a lot of shade. This building over here is even hosting like a wedding, so like, it's a popular destination, okay? This is a very beautiful location. You can actually get a ferry on the way to Ellis Island and Statue of Liberty as well, which a couple people on the ferry that I was on were doing that. So that was pretty neat. But this is pretty much it. It's a big empty field. I don't know what else really to show you. There's not really any Pokestops. I was looking at it a moment ago. It's not really that many Pokestops here, but there will be once the event starts, of course, because every Go Fest there's just a ton of Pokestops or gyms, so you'll be able to do that. But again, not a lot of trees, not a lot of shade. I mean, there are trees, they're just really short. You're not going to get a lot of shade out of them, so be prepared with that. Obviously with Go Fest, they also have those giant like team tents like lounge areas, so there's a little bit of that. But from what I remember in the past years, those get very crowded very quickly. And seats get taken very quickly, especially, you know, once it gets further along in the day, people get tired. It's true. It's true. So just be prepared, whether it's you're bringing your kids, your family, just bring the water, bring snacks too. If you know that, you know, you have special food allergies, or you're specific to certain kinds of foods, your kids get hungry through the day, or you don't want to pay the extra fee for, like, you know, the food trucks or, you know, the food vendors that they're going to inevitably bring here. They sometimes charge pretty extra, right, for these kinds of things. So from what I can tell as I'm looking at this park is that because it is a big open field, it's sort of like a peninsula-like, in that a lot of people will be coming from that direction, like basically everybody. Okay, so like whether you are staying in New York City and taking the ferry over, or you're staying in Jersey City, there's really only one entrance into this park. So it's gonna get kind of crowded is my guess, especially during that like transition period between the morning park experience and the afternoon park experience. Something to keep in mind, especially if you're thinking about like calling an Uber or something here. I'm sure there's going to be a designated Uber, Lyft, you know, car service pickup area. But it's probably going to get really crowded, and they'll probably, you know, jack up those prices too, because they can. Welcome to the tri-state area. All right, I'm going to keep walking down to the end of this pier park area just to show you a little bit more. But there's really not much to show you, frankly. It's not quite the same as Randall's Island, where there's really only a couple ways to get into the park, whereas this park, Liberty State Park, it's kind of one way in. Yeah. But I'll show you again on the way out what it looks like to take the PATH train, which is sort of like the subway system between New York City and Jersey City that you can take. So if you're not staying in Lower Manhattan, you don't want to take the ferry, maybe you don't like boats, I don't know. That is an option as well if you are going to be booking a hotel or Airbnb in New York. Jersey City is actually pretty neat though. I think there are great areas that you can stay in. I would say look for the PATH train specifically. Because if there are areas that your friends are staying in the city, it'll be much easier for you to do that. I would not recommend taking Ubers and Lyfts from New York City, Jersey City, or vice versa. It is so expensive. They've just introduced congestion charging in Lower Manhattan and New York City, meaning anything in Manhattan below like 60th Street, there's an extra fee to just drive there. It's like $10 or something. And Uber drivers and taxi drivers are already saying, oh my gosh, it's gotten so much more expensive. Also, to take a car between Jersey and New York is also really expensive on its own already, because you have to take the tunnel, which is, I don't even know what the cost of it these days are. I think it's probably close to $20 one way. So your Uber rides are going to be like $30 more than they need to be already. So anyway, I highly recommend public transportation anyway. The traffic caused by everybody trying to take an Uber is going to be horrendous. So avoid that at all costs if you can. And wow, I've been already talking for 7 minutes as I've walked to the end of the pier. So let's keep taking a look at what we got. Whew. I'm also going to point out that this grass is covered in goose poop. A very common thing in New York, New Jersey area is that when there's big open fields like this, there's usually just a bunch of geese that will use the bathroom. And yeah, don't wear your nicest shoes, I guess. Wear comfortable shoes for sure, but don't wear your really fancy, super schmancy, limited edition Nikes or whatever. Wow, and this is the view of Lower Manhattan from the edge of the park. I bet a lot of people will be standing here taking their photos, which rightfully so, because look how beautiful it is. Also, I picked a really beautiful day to be out here. It's a little bit chilly, but you know, it's gorgeous out, so I'm happy. Jersey City, New York City. They got these guys over here too if you wanted to peep. I don't know. Okay, so two things. One, we just walked down all the way to the end here, and to my left is revitalization program. Interesting, there's like some train tracks here. I wonder if that'll be done before June. Probably not. It looks pretty decrepit. But I also looked at the map, and there's actually more of Liberty State Park deeper in and to my left. So we're gonna go walk those fields, I guess. So my prediction is like part of the events will take place here. Like you'll probably have like 2 biomes here, and then 2 or more biomes or whatever in the bigger area that we're about to walk to. I suspect. I could be wrong. But at least you know how to walk to the end of the pier and take pictures of Lower Manhattan skyline, so show that off to your friends. Yeah. Also, if you're all thinking like, oh wow, there's a big parking lot here. Nope. Nope. So this area to the left has a little bit more parking, but I'm gonna suspect limited, so if you can, probably don't park here, or don't plan to park here, because this will probably fill up like a lot very quickly. There's not that many spots, and they might in fact just block this off entirely for, you know, event coordinators and people who are like putting up the tents and security and all of that. So yeah, try not to drive if you can help it. Walk into the other side, and this field is significantly bigger than the little area that we were just in. So I might be completely wrong there. We may be entirely wrong. And that part back there that I just showed you might not even be part of GoFest, because this field over here is actually massive, massive. And again, not that much shade. Yay. It reminds me a little bit of the park in Vegas, maybe minus all the sand part, but it's just a big, mostly flat open field. And yeah, my advice still stands though: sunscreen, water bottles, umbrellas, water, phone coolers, little fans for yourself if you can. Look, Statue of Liberty. Yeah, it's kind of boring over here, not gonna lie. This is a big field though, but it's kind of boring. There's a big parking lot over here too, but this is yeah, I suspect it's gonna be 2 biomes over here, 2 biomes back there. I don't know. Again, I could be wrong. We won't know for sure until they release the official map, and we don't really get those usually until just a couple weeks before the actual event. So this will be interesting. But what of you, huh? Don't trip over the roots growing out of the sidewalk. That's a thing that happens here a lot. Love that. Still getting that awesome view of Lower Manhattan, but we're a little bit further away. And lovely view over here. That right straight ahead is Ellis Island, by the way. I think there actually is a walking path over there that'll get you close-ish, but yeah, maybe it is this path. I don't know. I'm gonna look at the map and see what I'm gonna do, but basically it's a big empty park right now. I guess in the winter a lot of these trees are dead, so not too much to look at, but it's a park. It's a park, and in just like 3 months-ish time, this will be GoFest. This is GoFest. This, well, the other end that I was at earlier, that'll be maybe Go Fest also. Maybe, question mark. We'll see. Anyway, let's not walk into the water, and I'm gonna look at the map. It's a long walk, y'all. That's how far away we are now. We gotta keep walking before we can walk into more of the central area, downtown area of Jersey City, to the Grove Street Path Station. That'll take me back to New York. Okay, so I started running that Daily Adventure Incense about halfway to the entrance of this park area, and well, two things very funny. I remember back in the day when I used to walk here, there was no light. This was just empty. There was none of this here. It was just dark. So I don't know. This is the only entrance though. Just keep that in mind. If you're trying to take a car or an Uber or something, this little cobblestone path is the only road into Liberty State Park. So there is going to be heckin' traffic. Try to avoid driving as much as you can. Now we're at the sort of entrance of the path now. Let me see if I can get the sign. Liberty State Park. This, that way. Historic downtown Jersey City. That way, I would say go that way actually, but whatever. We got more things I'm gonna point out. There's this little bridge that'll take you across. This is the map, which is very worn, as you can see. Where are we? We're right here, right up here. This is where we were earlier, like the marina at Ferry dropped us off here. We walked all the way up here, took the awesome pictures of Lower Manhattan over here, and then I walked back up this way. We looked a little bit at this area, but it's kind of just covered. There's a lot of grass, and there's part of it that's just like high grass, you know, like the not hedges. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Like when it's a swamp. That's kind of what it looks like. Swampland? I don't know. It says future parkland. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna go this way though, and go over here where the path train is. Let's go. Just walking around that corner. Here comes the light rail, and this is the light rail station actually. So frankly, not that far. Again, if you're staying somewhere near the light rail, along the light rail path, it's actually doable to get to Liberty State Park. That's, again, you gotta walk like I just walked, but that's pretty close. It's closer than the path train. Whoops. I'm gonna say this and probably get a lot of heat for it, but frankly, Jersey City is a bit safer than that area of Harlem that people had to pass through to get to Randall's Island. So, if you're talking safety, it's definitely better here. Annoying, probably just as much.
One eternity later.
Thank you, neighbor. And that's it. Now we're back in New York in the Oculus World Trade Center. Thoughts, takeaways. The PATH train actually is pretty inaccessible. It's cheap because it's like $2, same price as the subway basically, but it's like a 30-minute walk from the park. So I don't know if anybody actually wants to do that, especially when it's going to be summer outside. The ferry is great, but it is a little bit on the pricey side. $10 for one way. It's probably going to be like $20 for round trip if you're going to be staying in Lower Manhattan. If you are staying in Jersey City, the light rail might be a really good option for you. Like I showed you, that stop is like 15 minutes from the actual park, so it's still a 15-minute walk. But that light rail is an option. And yeah, Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comments. I'll try to answer them as best as possible. I'll definitely make another trip back for food options and other things of interest, I'm sure. But until then, thank you for liking and subscribing and dropping your comments down below. I'll try to get as many of them as possible. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!